Hey, sweet. I can see myself on the thing, which means we're live. We all set. We all ready to go? Okay, cool. Okay then. Time will start when the circle with new game in it fills up. So go. This is Rain World. I didn't expect to do this here, but we're doing it here. It's gonna load a bit because this game has decent load times. You're this little slug cat. It can do a bunch of things like roll and slide and jump. It's trying to find its family in a cutscene I skipped just before this. It got separated from its family during a storm. The game's called Rain World because it exists in cycles. And at the end of every cycle comes a massive rainstorm with the power to crush you to death if you don't avoid it. So we won't be too worried about it in any percent. But in some of the longer categories it can be more of a thing. So just to start, we're gonna grab some food. By the way, you'll notice at the top I've got the dev tools active, just for safety, because there's a lot of RNG involving things like those lizards, and I don't want something like that to happen, so I can move to wherever my mouse is and not have the run, just die if I get snapped, because that would be bad. I'm not gonna go for the bats. I'll just oh god. Gee. That made me jump. Okay, they're not being the kindest today. Alright, I'm slightly out of practice, but let's see how we go. So the first thing we're going to do is get to a shelter. We can slide and jump, and that is faster than just running normally. Slugcat's movements are procedurally animated. There's a real sense of weight to it, but it also means it's quite finicky. There are a lot of different states to it. That thing there is called a pole plant. It looks like a pole, but if you grab it, it will try to eat you and pull you into the ground. The red lizards, or those are pink lizards, they can climb the poles. The green ones can't. Now we're going to sleep. Alright, we're going to be spending a bit of time in here. This game manages survival through karma states, which you can see in the sleep screen and in the bottom left. And you need certain levels of karma to pass through certain gates to different areas in the world. For this run we need karma level 4. I'm going to do an exploit which involves starving, hibernating without enough food, then quitting, and then reopening the game, which saves the karma you've gained from when you slept and starved, but it doesn't save the fact that you are starving. So you can just keep doing this and build up as much karma as you need without having to go and find all the food. I want to make sure that I've got a long enough cycle. I do. I've got plenty of time. That's normally not a problem, but if the cycle was very short, because the cycle length is random, how many dots you've got surrounding the karma symbol. With a really short one, there can be issues. By the way, just as a warning, there are going to be portions of this game that are quite quiet, but there are also going to be portions of this game that are very loud. And there are also going to be portions that are very bright, and there are also going to be portions that are very dark. This will become apparent fairly soon. The game already has a little bit of an experimental tinge to it from the start. Like, it's a little offbeat, it's a little different, but the ending is so far from left field that if you haven't seen it before, I can almost guarantee that you won't expect what's coming. Yeah, you're in for a treat, Ham. No. Oh, okay, it grabbed me enough to permanently kill me. Okay, so what we're gonna do in this case is we're gonna go to sleep. That's alright, no worries. We're just back in the shelter. We're not too far back. And I'll just move back to where we were by just teleporting to my cursor. This wouldn't be a viable run, I think, for a marathon without the dev tools. There's just so much that you can't predict, especially in the really dark bits. We gotta listen to this door again. If I try to go through there too early, it'll bounce me out, because the next area isn't loaded until a certain point through this door animation. I've actually had it happen once before where I've gone through a gate too early, but I've gone through it just the right time where I've actually locked the game and the slug cat doesn't come back, but the next area never opens. Alright, we've got a friendlier spawn this time. I'm gonna throw a thing. Throwing something gives you a bit more velocity in the direction you throw it, which is handy for that jump, because otherwise that jump is a nasty piece of work. Okay. Not being very friendly at the moment. We'll take this route instead. Just wait for you to fall. We're going to meet something soon called a salamander, and hopefully it won't be in our way, because I don't like them. Not in our way. That's a salamander. It's like a lizard, but it can move really quickly in water. This area is called the drainage system, which I think it said when I entered it, but it accounts for all the water here. We started in a place called the outskirts. And by the way, there's so much of this game that isn't seen in an any % run. It's huge, it's expansive, there's a lot of lore you can find in it that's hidden around the world. Come on, little buddy, you can do it. There we go. Okay. I've started to drown, so I was moving a bit slowly and Slugcat's eyes were closed. But we recovered fairly quickly. Oh yeah, you can kick off a wall and a pipe, which is what you see me doing to get that boost of speed. Uh-oh. Lingered a little longer than I would have liked. There. Okay. Drowning a bit, so it's going to be slow for a moment. But about here, he'll open his eyes again. Something else that Slugcat can do is wall jump, which we're going to do here because it's faster than just climbing the pole. Now here is where the game is going to start to get noticeably quite a bit darker. I'm going to grab a spear because it'll be handy. You can see the red thing there, that's called monster kelp. It eats you. We don't want to fall into it. It's bad. I have lost a run to it before, it's not fun. So we're entering one of the darkest parts of the game now, it's called the filtration system. And because we've gone straight there, we don't have any of the options that the game offers you to have a light source. So for a decent amount of it, we're going to be navigating by feel. Which would be alright, except for the fact that there are a certain type of lizard in this area. There's a certain type of lizard in here called a black lizard or a mole lizard, which is blind, but can hear you very easily, and can navigate quite well by feel. So we don't want to get caught with one of those. And one's there. You can see its little head. And it's coming up the pipe. It's following me. How am I? What am I supposed to do now? That's right, you go backwards. Okay, you get stuck in the corner. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'll throw the spear. Have it follow me upwards. No. Downwards. Upwards. Downwards. Oh god. Okay. I don't normally do this. I'll go around another way. Problem is, I don't really know the other ways. This is not the other way. This is in fact the opposite of the other way. I am now trapped with the lizard. Well, it's followed me down there. That'll do. Now it's not on my way for the way I'm supposed to go. Is that a second one? It is. Oh, Jesus. Or is it the same one and it's... Oh my god. What is this? I don't think I've ever had RNG this bad in this spot. Are there two of them here? Alright, we can't see anything. We're gonna drop down here. There's another one. I hate this game sometimes. Alright, hopefully that means that a lot of them aren't in the later bit of the filtration system. That's not true. There they all are. So when their heads light up, that means they've heard me, or they've heard something. That don't... It's in my way. It's right there in my way. Okay. Thankfully, we're mostly out of danger now, unless something ridiculous happens. Right. I've never seen RNG that bad at that point before. I've never seen that. And now we're going to fall down a lot. Now we're in the final area of the game called the depths, and this place is really dark. It's so dark you can barely see the ground you're moving on. Slide like that. I don't know if I've messed with my monitor set. I've been messing with my monitor settings recently, and it doesn't seem to have helped this place. Or something's off. Right, that big cross is the maximum karma level of the game, which we haven't unlocked because we have done a lot of things in the game. Well, actually, we haven't done a lot of things in the game. We've skipped a decent bunch of stuff. The game doesn't really direct you to it, but we haven't explored very more. We've gone straight to the end. Thank you. Seal, but I don't know how to pronounce your name. This game is very pretty. I don't know why it appears darker than usual for me in here at the moment. JM. Alright, thanks. I wanna... somewhere down here, there is. There. Alright, I'd really like to find a spear. Isn't that handy? Because we need a spear for the last... one of the last rooms of this area. But yeah, you're supposed to have the 10th karma level, which is the cross, by the time you get here. Otherwise you can't get all the way through, but that doesn't matter. Alright, now hold on. Possibly? I don't know. I'm not sure what I've changed. I have to check. So we're going to do a skip here called Guardian Skip. Or Guardian Removal Skip. In that room to the left I'm going to unload some things called Guardians, which will kill you. Give me a minute. So if I did that right, that thing in there was a Guardian, and if I did this right, there won't be one. There won't be any in this next bit. And you can see that the effect of the weird is getting stronger. I failed the skip. That's alright, I'm out of practice. I'm gonna give a try of the backup, the stupid backup called Rock Skip. Which involves getting chucked upwards by them, throwing some rocks. And nope, they chuck you backwards. If you haven't reached the proper karma level. I'm just going to skip past, because if I kept trying and kept failing, they would eventually just kill me and start bashing me into the floor. But yeah, they wouldn't be there if I had succeeded, but I did not. I'm going to have to find out what's going on with my colour settings, because I can't see very much. We're now in the caves bit of the depths. It's not all structured and religious looking, it's just some caves with some light sources. Yeah, ain't that right, Ham? Neither did I when I played this. It's gonna get stranger, just so you know. Oh, I'm just going to show you, there are no time dots in the left corner. We're so far down that the rain can't get to us here. When you enter the depths, the cycles don't matter anymore. Oh, you'll notice the slow-mo effect. And the slow-mo effect means that if you throw something to boost your momentum in the air, that effect is magnified. So throwing stuff here is good. This is the second to last room of this. You'll see in the spaces that you can't see anything but black. You can now start to see that everything's melting. Oh yeah, this game is so pretty. And there's so much of it in this that you haven't seen that's also pretty. But the ending of this game is unlike anything else. gonna have to check my graphic settings after this, because this is darker than it normally is. I'm pretty sure. We get through. There's nothing horrific. This is pretty, but getting hard to look at. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Alright. So, out of the frying pan into the fire. I'm gonna roll and then throw some things so I can do this great big jump off a cliff and hit here. It's gonna get loud at this point, by the way. I also have to concentrate on the swimming. And it's not over yet. So I'm swimming through this fluid. You can't drown in it. And my objective at this point, there's a rock, is to just go down. And going down, we're going to find a lot of things. The first is this weird texture. The second is coming up. There's a brief glimpse of it. There's no consistent rhythm yet for the swimming. I'm alternating between left and right, as well as pressing the jump button to take strokes. Once you get to a bit where it speeds up a bit, the rhythm is approximately the tempo of Get Lucky for each stroke. Okay, so the next bit is the worms. And there's RNG in this bit. You want them to push you downwards. And it's loud here. I don't know how well you can hear me, but for the next bit of this game, it's going to be loud and quiet and loud and quiet and loud and quiet and so on until the end. So that was the loud. Here's the quiet. Oh great, thanks. That's an important thing when running this game. Just sort out the audio. Alright, so here's the quiet. And when I hear a certain noise, I'll start swimming upwards to meet it. And here's the loud. So one of our worm friends is saying hello. Look at all the body of it that you saw, and it's got a tiny head. Only a bit bigger than a slug cat. It's going to inspect us for a bit. And then it's going to poke us. And now we're going on Mr. Voidworm's wild ride. So enjoy this. If you thought this game doesn't look particularly weird or experimental at the beginning, I wonder how you feel about that now. Because it certainly pulls a fast one on you. Alright, and now it sounds like it's a plane landing. holds you for a bit. Okay. And quiet. Bit more loud in a minute. Bye bye worm. We're now swimming. Yeah. What JM said, you should definitely get this game. It's incredible. I've never played something like it before or since. It's an experience. I don't know if you can see it yet, but I'm swimming towards the bottom right because there is a glowing light in that general direction. We're being met by all of our slugcat friends, although they might be copies of us. I think in the game's code they're copies of us. I don't know what they are in the game's lore. Oh, let me do something. I'm going to open the DevTools map. So that was the place where we entered the sea, and we are nowhere. I just thought that would be a nice thing to show everyone. Okay, it will get loud as we approach the light, and it's going to fade to white and then it's going to fade to black, and time will be on the fade to black. But we've got a bit more swimming to go before that. I'm pumping between swimming right and swimming down right, just to keep getting a bit more speed boost. Here's the noise. Alright, time coming up very shortly. And time. Alright. Now you can watch the cutscene that you don't understand. Because we missed all the lore that explains even the slightest inkling of what's going on here. Thanks, Rare. Thanks, Ham. I encourage you to play this game. What I've shown off is practically a minuscule amount of what it's got to offer. So we're swimming, glowing. Here's my favourite slide, or one of them. Look at his little face. Look at the little sweetie. And that shot mirrors one from the opening cutscene that we skipped. With a big tree. You might find out what that means if you play the game, which you should. And then it's the credits. And if we skip those, we're just back here. If I were to load this file, which now has a pretty spirit symbol, I would be back in the outskirts in the shelter I was at. But yeah, that's Rain World any percent. Albeit with the dev tools to help me out with some scraps and deal with the fact that I missed Guardian skip. It's a cool game. Go and get it and play it because it's fantastic. Cool. No problem, Ham. Next is no thing, I believe, unless we have more diverting to do. No problem. I enjoyed showing off. Alright, have we got no thing now?